So guys, thanks again for watching us. And today Nick has brought his good guy down, a gentleman known by David, a nutritionist.
David.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I got there a lot. My name is
Davide.
Davide.
David, sorry.
It's fine. You can call
I
me
said
David.
that to him. Yes, I said I pronounced it David.
He did it on purpose, I think.
Yes, he did on purpose.
Because he's
They're trying to set me up. No, I didn't do it on purpose.
So Nick, you guys might as well have a quick wrap. And, tell me how you guys met.
So I've known Davide for like 2 years.
2 years and a half, maybe something
Yeah.
like that.
We met in the Muay Thai
Yeah, actually.
from our university. I remember the first time we sparred, bro. I don't know why, but I kept this like poker face, man. I had this, we're sparring and I couldn't I had no reaction. He was like he wasn't sure if he was like going too easy or too hard. And by the end I went to him and I told him like, bro, you almost killed me. And he was like,
Yeah, I felt so bad. Because the thing is, he claims to be skinny, but actually got a lot of muscle on. So he came there, all muscular, and he was looking at me with this poker face, and he kept coming towards to me with this hungry face. I was like, he must have some experience. I was just beating him up. And at the end of the sparring, he just breaks down and comes to me like, bro, you killed me. And I was like, man, you should have told me.
yeah,
I thought you were like...
bro, I got like withered,
I think
withered.
he wanted to make you cook him some food from your nutritional background. I think that's what it-
Could have asked. Didn't need to go through a beating, honestly.
So tell us about yourself. What do you do, Davide?
I mean, at the moment, I'm a graduate nutritionist. So I graduated in July. So I'm recognized, by the government as a practitioner. And I'm currently freelancing. I'm collaborating with 2 gyms, one in Park Royal, and with some fighters, when they got clients or when they need themselves to fight and make the weight, they either come to me or they send me clients. That's what I've been doing. And right now I'm trying to specializing in sports nutritionist. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm running like a proper practice, but I got clients, I'm following people. I'm bringing 2 fighters one is fighting on the 27th, it will be an interclub, and one is going to fight semi-pro soon in November.
Right?
No, another guy from my gym is actually a trainer himself.
Okay.
And I've done our coach from Westminster, Igley. He's a professional fighter. When he fought in March, I did his
So
diet.
how would you? So obviously you've told us your background being in nutrition, and exactly what did you study nutrition? What was the course called?
Human nutrition.
Human nutrition.
Yeah, that's how
Okay,
it's called.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Or is there one for dogs? Cats?
No. I mean, actually, you're not the first one who asked me that, but yeah, I don't know if there is. I never seen it. I wasn't interested in it.
And tell us again, why did you go into that? Because I think before we started this recording, we talked a little bit about when you were young. And
I mean, yeah, like as a kid, when I was a teenager, I was never fat, but I was, like chubby, and unfortunately, my genetics doesn't help me. So I'm not allowed to relax, and the nature doesn't enable me to, take a break. I always have to keep my nutrition in check and always have to move and do sports. So eventually I said, I was doing another job before. I was a groupie. I was working in casinos. And then I said, you know what, I might just as well give it a try and study something that actually I'm passionate about and I can help people, myself,
Starting with myself.
Yeah.
so you guys know each other from Thai, Muay Thai?
Muay Thai, yeah, correct.
Yes.
Fantastic. So first of all, you lot beat each other up, then eat together, right? Something like
Sometimes. We mostly beat each other.
Yeah, I would say.
It's, I don't know, some guys might find it a bit silly, but it's like therapy sometimes. Because you need to empty your mind, you got that brain fog. We talked about it on the previous podcast, that brain fog, you cannot think straight. And sometimes you just need to go and like let it all out and then have that.
Like the feeling that you have after you exchange, like punches and kicks with someone, it cannot be replicated by any other sports. I've done football, I've done swimming, I've done, not bodybuilding, but, weightlifting and running. Nothing can even compares to what it feels like sparring or fighting another person.
I think the nearest might be maybe heavy weights. If you do try really heavy weights.
Probably. I mean, it's personal at the end of the day. That's how I feel personally. But I can see, in my friends' eyes when we spar that we feel the same way, And when the bell rings, it's all finished. So we just hug and just congratulate each other.
Especially after that first sparring session, like when you get that your ego broken, because most of the people go there and thinking they're the guy. Yeah. And they go to the first sparring session and they get bit. It's totally beat. And they get their ego broken. Yeah. And getting your ego broken though makes it even stronger after.
I think everybody probably gets the ego broken the first time.
Yeah, because I remember like my first like sparring session, I was like returning from the gym and I was like rethinking life. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I like living life? I have so many things to do. I was like, damn.
Live a long life. Yeah, that's interesting. It's good to know you guys know each other. Obviously, could you just tell us a quick difference between sports nutrition and general nutrition?
Yeah, so basically, right now I'm just a graduate nutritionist, which means I can practice, I can make nutritional plans and follow the average human being, people who just want to train, go to the gym, or lose weight or gain weight, these kind of things. Technically, I'm also capable of following athletes, but if I want to be thorough and fair to them as well, I need to get that extra qualification, the extra knowledge. That's what I'm working towards too. I already am in order to build a portfolio and experience, partnering with athletes. But if I want to be, go to the next level, that's what I'm looking for. So the difference is, one is very it's more like a niche, like sports nutrition, just athletes, any kind of athlete, and the other one is more like everybody.
Do you have a specific goal that you're trying to reach on that spectrum?
Yeah, my goal is I want to just work with combat athletes. I think the sports is growing everywhere. In the UK, because of the UFC, because of one championship is growing so much, and I love it. And obviously, I'm an amateur. I'm not even near to that level, but I've done, weight cuts myself. I prepare for fights as well, like you do, and we know, what it takes. The preparation, all the things.
I don't do weight cuts, but
He doesn't do weight cuts, but he trying to gain muscle.
trying to gain, yeah.
Yeah, so that's also hard, because when your body is not wired that way, for you is a massive, pain and journey that you have to go through in order to achieve.
Yeah, some people I can put muscle on easy, I can put fat on easy as well.
Yeah, same boat,
I find
man.
it hard to lose it, but I can put it on quite easily, I think Nick's the opposite.
I'm the opposite because I feel like that the exact opposite people of me already have the sculpture there, and they just need to sculpt it now.
Yeah.
But I need to put the clay on and then sculpt it. You know what I mean? So it feels like harder for me.
So let's go to one of the main points that you're here. Obviously, we're Shilajit Global, and Nick has introduced you to our Shilajit. So Nick, let us know, buddy, how you guys spoke and how that went. So Nick, just take over, please, and just let us know in a nutshell how that Shilajit felt and how you guys have probably been working on it the last few weeks.
Yeah. So I think the first time I introduced you to Shilajit was like I was drinking it or something, and Davide came and he asked me, "What are you drinking?" Like it was looking at it looked like I was drinking like mud or something. He was like, "What are you drinking?" I said Shilajit, but he didn't know what that was like. What was Shilajit? I explained it to him on my best because I didn't know the whole like benefit section and stuff like that. So I told him it gives you like 90 plus minerals that your body lacks, and I mostly use it like for recovery. And I told him like we could like work on it, like because I remember like it was like recently that I had found out you do nutrition. I didn't even know he did nutrition. Like with first year I didn't know what he was studying. It's like that about everyone though in university. Like you just meet them as a to fight and stuff like that. But yeah, I told him like that we could work on that. We can benefit from each other actually. And I gave him like a couple grams to try within a couple, like what was it, 2 months, 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Have you tried anything other Shilajit from anywhere else?
No.
Okay. So tell us then, on this package, this is our sports version.
Yeah.
And we describe this as pure or potent, natural testosterone and organic steroid. How would you comment on that?
I mean, it's scientifically proven. There are several papers that do say that it does improve, increase the amount of testosterone in your body. So therefore, I would say there's a fair claim. The thing is, you always need to be clear when you stating something like, this is actual testosterone booster, this is, steroids, stuff like that. Of course, like you're going to see benefits in terms of, your performances, it has anti-inflammatory properties. So I would say it's a fair claim as long as...
Maybe we should change it to natural testosterone and organic steroid effects, because what we're saying is like, 'cause I go to the gym or try to go to the gym, and it really I don't take steroids, but I found that
Wait, really? You don't take steroids?
I don't. It's all natural.
Why you lying, man? You a fake natty, man.
So obviously, steroid will push you. It'll push you. And how did you? I mean, how both of you guys feel about that push, recovery, extra energy? Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I took it for 2 weeks. So it might have been that, it might have been something else, but I did feel some improvement, I'm gonna be honest. Not massive because I'm already well trained, so probably I wasn't the best subject, because I wasn't coming from the scratch. I was already, well conditioned. I got optimal nutrition because that's my job, so I know how to eat. But for sure, because I tend to get my joints inflamed, my muscle every time. And after I think the 7th or 8th day that I took it, I started feeling more energized, and I've had a kind of mental clarity, that I usually never experienced before. Because like, if it was for me, I would never go training. I would stay at home, chill, do nothing. But because I feel always tired and everything. But after that, I felt like, yeah, I actually do feel a bit more prone to go, energized and
You
everything.
took that 10 gram over what period was it? 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks, yeah. I mean, I didn't take it on my days off, like, because I try to on my days off to just rest. I train 5 times a week, and it's always Muay Thai with some weightlifting on top.
Do you
And
take any other supplements?
just creatine. That's also a thing. Like, I'm very skeptical when it comes to supplementation. I told him, like, when he gave it to me, I said, I'm gonna be honest, and that's my honest take. Like, I'm always very, like I said, super skeptical. I never try to say, oh, this is good, but this actually made me feel better. And yeah, I mean, of course, people needs to, when they take it, when they buy it, they have to understand that there's not a magical tool. There's something that allows you to go the extra, to step up your game. It's something that you have to integrate.
It's just like an enhancer. It's not gonna change you all of a sudden. It's not you're gonna become the Rock or something from just taking it once or twice. You need to actually go and put out the work, go to the gym, start running, or start doing whatever you need to
Yeah,
do.
you won't get my muscles overnight.
Yeah, no,
Bro,
for
I've
sure.
been trying, man. No matter how much Shilajit I take, bro.
I know.
But I have to say, I was really the only thing that really impressed me was like the inflammation thing. I always get my joints inflamed, everything. My whole body is sore after training. I felt much
I mean,
better.
10 grams is a small amount. I mean, to try, and it's good that you've got some positive effects. But taking, over a longer period, I'm sure you'll see much more better effects. I mean, just on the point of, like we were talking before we start recording briefly, because we always try to do as freestyle as possible. But we talked a little bit about how I was saying to you that, to me, nutritionists should really potentially be up there like your doctor, because it's like almost like a natural pharmacy, because you are what you eat. Some people claim the best medicine is the food in your food. So the way the world is at the moment is just a whole lot of big corporate companies creating a lot of healthy foods, like sweets, of course, very healthy. And then these dyes, these colors, these additives, these preservatives have so much, negative effect to the body. And so we're basically, that's our nutrition, and then the big pharma steps in with its medicines, etc., etc. So obviously, if people understood nutrition better, and it could be a type of like self-healing, or even just better self-management, where they say eat apple a day, keep the doctor away, kind of situation. So if nutritionalists or nutritional education should be given more in school, because that is your ultimate preventative medicine, is the food that we take. How would you comment on that?
I will comment that definitely, prioritizing education for, there's like a huge discussion right now that they should educate people in school about like finance or how to manage their money. But one thing that people never talk about is actual how to, food, nutrition, this kind of thing, because you are what you eat. That's the truth, that affects your mental health. You can get, brain fog because of your diet. You can get sick. I mean, your whole life revolves around what you eat. And one thing that really struck me when I was studying a uni, that during one lecture they told us that until 15, 20 years ago, people that were coming from medical school, they're nearly zero like a nutritional training. So the GP were giving patient advices based on their own intuition because they didn't have any nutrition modules, or maybe only just one tiny module over a 5-year period of study. And yet they were the ones telling people, oh, you should eat this, you should eat that, which is harmful as well, you know. So yeah,
But yeah, they don't have knowledge though.
they don't
It's
have, I mean, yeah.
their opinion is. I mean, it matters, but it's not the same as from someone that knows about the subject.
Doctors should be really focusing on nutrition as their first point of call before, you know.
Before you even ask me like what's the problem, like you need to what's the solution actually. Like you need to ask the patient like what do you put in your body every day? What do you eat? Because if he eats junk food every day and then he got like stomach ache, for example, or he has headaches or he's sick in general, it's most probably from the nutrition. What do you think about it? Is it from my or it plays a big part?
It plays a huge part. I can give you my personal insight because I used to work in a clinic in Bond Street, in a dermatology clinic as a clinic coordinator. So I was assisting doctors and everything. And, you know, these doctors are, you know, respectable doctors, and they get patients from all over the planet. They fly from like, you know, Arabia to here or from Dubai to here just to get checked from these doctors. So this is the kind of doctors we're talking about. And they were, they were telling me, and then some people, they were told like your skin problem could have easily been resolved by changing your diet, but these people would have rather get medicine than changing their diets. That's how much, you know, like you could save like thousands. And also like your appearance, it reflects on you. You know, these people, when they got all these skin problems, you shouldn't be tackling that by skincare only or by you know.
Yes, 100%. So
Do you remember when we ate the junk food last week? I think.
we eat junk food every day.
No, I ate junk food like once every 3 months.
Yeah,
or something.
Nick's kind of like much better than me. And
Bro, we ate junk food. I got zips here now.
oh, the chicken, you mean?
Yeah,
Fried
the
chicken.
Fried
Okay,
chicken.
really
I
after
got
that?
zips, man. I got.
Oh shit! So after that,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
From just once. I think it's the what does potato have? What's the starch? I think it's from starch because
or the oil.
all they all yeah.
I reckon potentially that. Yeah. They put that the extra fat, it was called now, but that really poisonous fat. Potentially that. But that's interesting. So I mean, so Shilajit is so okay in your nutritional field. Again, I think we just talked very briefly before we start recording, but I mentioned to you that there could be various different opinions on nutrition, and there could be sort of like you could talk about sort of like kosher halal nutrition versus like people who you know don't believe in religious context like that versus maybe Ayurvedic like Asian Indian sort of you know nutrition, vegan nutrition for example. So though we're talking nutrition, it's still a wider subject than I believe that you've potentially been trained, because obviously you haven't been told about Shilajit in your training. So I think that does go to show that you know any nutritionist course could be more expansive, and that you know you still have to understand who you've been trained by, you know. But how strong does the nutrition course or your understanding go into organic products?
I mean, you talking about my course.
Yeah.
I mean, they give you the foundation, and from there it's all about you. That's why I would say, you know, the school you go to, it does matter to an extent, of course. And I think, you know, I was lucky in that sense, but the curiosity is the key. If the nutritionist is practicing what he's been preaching, then yeah, it should be fine. But if you're just expecting one practitioner to know everything, you know, all this, you know, the people that claim to know everything, like you said, because there's kosher, there's halal, you know, your geographical position does impact your knowledge. Because if you're born in an Islamic country, you're not going to know about pork much, other than the negative effect. And I don't know, if you're living in a country where rice is not a staple food, you're not going to know much about rice. You know, this is about common sense as well. It is about the honesty of the person you go into, because I got some clients that came to me and I wasn't ready for them, especially like vegan people. I wasn't very well versed into vegan diet. So I said, guys, I can do it for free as an experiment. and if it works, maybe you can just post it that I helped you. But I didn't charge them because I wasn't ready for it. It's all about curiosity and how much you want to keep yourself up to date, because science is changing and we're finding out things every year. Something new comes up. I don't know if you guys remember, but people used to be terrified by eggs. Everybody thought
Oh, sorry?
eggs.
Eggs. Okay.
The people thought cholesterol. People thought if you ate like 2 eggs per day, you were gonna die.
I saw like a post on Instagram and it was saying like, don't eat those cholesterol bombs or something. And then
It's not true.
I checked the account and it was Peter. I was, oh, okay, that makes sense.
But it used to be like a fact back then. Like if 15 years ago, if you said, "Oh, I eat 2 eggs every day," people are gonna say, "Yeah, I'm not gonna see you next year. You're gonna pass for sure." Because of the cholesterol, you're gonna get like cardiovascular disease and whatnot. But that's not true. Now that it has been disproven, you get my point.
Eggs are like the best thing.
One of the
But it's the good cholesterol, right? It contains good cholesterol. There's bad cholesterol and good cholesterol,
There
right? So
is.
it contains good cholesterol.
That's correct.
But it's high cholesterol, but it's good cholesterol.
Yes, but also on top of that, the amount of cholesterol that is in eggs is so low that you will need to eat, I don't know, probably dozens of them before it caused you any. I mean, even the bad cholesterol doesn't have to be demonized. You know, that's the thing. The junk food doesn't have to be demonized. People need to learn about balance.
Well, I suffer from 7.8 cholesterol, which is quite high. I've gone down to 5.5. And I can't say 100%, but the main thing I've been using is Shilajit. It was very slow though. It took. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not here to BS anybody. It was like the level I take a Shilajit, I'm taking gram to gram, maybe half a gram to gram a day, and I think probably over a year and a half that it took to go down that low. I was taking the odd statin, but I started not to take it regularly. My doctor was asking me to take the statins. I said, look, for cholesterol. And I said, look, I'm afraid if I take too much statins, it might affect my cholesterol in my brain, and I don't want to take too much. So I said the only thing I'm taking daily is Shilajit. So I can't sit and say for 100%, but if you Google it, it does have an effect on cholesterol, But what I saw, it was slow. It was slow. Maybe it's because it's something that takes time to build into the system. So it was good for cholesterol. It's good for, I think one of the main things I like to think Shilajit is good for is the fulvic acid, which obviously lines the stomach. And I used to suffer from acid reflux, and that's kind of literally gone away now. And if the fulvic acid and acid reflux is going away, because as you know, acid is a major cause of a lot of illnesses and sicknesses. So I don't know if it's turning my pH, and I'm not tested that much, but there's a lot of I believe nutritionists should study this more. As a single product, I believe that it gram for gram, especially if you get the real stuff like what we have, the Ferrari of Shilajit, and why we call that because again it's the highest altitude K2 mountain range, and then we 6 months sun dry it as opposed to heat purifying it, which kills the medicine. So when you're sun drying it, you're not heating it, and you're using cold spring water, and it takes 40 washes before it's purified. So that's over a 6 month period, leaving a very potent Shilajit, but it's very expensive for us to buy.
And we're saying that because there are so many fake ones in the market, and it's like real drugs. Like some people mix them to make more profit. Yeah, so you need to be aware of what's real and what's fake, because like your decision after taking the fake one might affect the whole market.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, if I may, one of the reasons why you might have seen effect for when it came to your cholesterol is because one of the properties of Shilajit that I saw on PubMed, which is the scientific mantra of scientific papers, is that it improved the nutritional uptake of your body, and therefore you can absorb all the nutrients from the food better, and that might have caused like a compound effect. It doesn't directly lowers your cholesterol, but because you taking let's say you're having a nice meal made of like protein, carbs, and the right amount of fruits and vegetables. So all the fruit, the vitamin and minerals in the vegetable and the fruits, you're absorbing them more because of the Shilajit, because your body doesn't absorb the 100% of it, only a percentage of it. And the fact that this improved the nutritional uptake might be, as I said, on the long term, a compound effect that eventually end up lowering your cholesterol. So this is why, I mean, if you wanted to see results in that sense, you will need to go for a longer period of time.
I mean, my intake of statin is probably on average 1.5 to 2 tablets a week. You know, and I don't think I'm taking the statins properly. So I don't believe the statins is what's lowering it. It can't be. I'm literally not taking it 80% of the time. And when I took my last blood test, I hadn't taken the statin for about 3 weeks. As a matter of fact, I hadn't even taken Shilajit for 2 weeks, so I had to stop it because I had a kidney stone, and so I decided to slow it down. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, I had a blood test, and I was thinking, oh my God, my cholesterol is going to be sky high because I haven't taken my Shilajit, I take my statins, I haven't taken nothing, but it went to 5.5. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was there ready to tell my wife, okay, we're going to stop the mayonnaise, we're going to stop this. The night before the blood test, I'm like, okay, there's a kebab, mayonnaise, everything. Because I was really,
get it back high. Yeah.
I really was fearing the worst, and my cholesterol going to be about 8.5 or something. But alhamdulillah, it was 5.5. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say it's Shilajit, but like, it's the only thing I've been taking regularly for nearly 2 years. And that's the only thing. When I tell the doctor, they're like, okay, they're not really listening to you because, you know, I'm like, he's going, okay, and I'm okay. And I'm like,
if you're okay, I'm okay.
yeah, exactly.
You believe what you want.
Exactly. So it's a very interesting product, and I hope that, like, you know, with your closeness with Nick, that it's something that you look more into, you know. And it's interesting you mentioned the skin, because we're going to introduce a product which is going to help the skin further. But Shilajit itself, because we're also saying that, you know, you've been lied to, and that beauty is not skin deep. Your skin is not orchestrated from cream, meaning it's like if you're in the desert. I keep using the same example. If you're in the desert and you're thirsty, and your lips go dry, your skin going dry, but throw water on your face, you will feel some relief. But if you drink the water, you're going to feel way better. So the same way, if you're trying to heal the skin, throwing cream on the skin is not the best way. Going back to nutrition, you see. So you know, you studied that, and you talked about people coming from UAE and to see nutritionists here. I would love for you or Nick or me or somebody to go see these dermatologists and introduce the Shilajit, because the Shilajit taken with our beauty product, which is again related to Shilajit. I mean, it's related to like a cream ointment type of. We've tested for 1.5 years. So we take the Shilajit resin into your system. It goes to your immune system, obviously, and what we know is that your skin is orchestrated more from your immune system than externally. Meaning you can splash cream onto your skin, but that's going to go from outside inward, but it's not going to go penetrate too far. So beauty is not skin deep. It's a total BS. Beauty is immune deep. I believe it's immune deep, because your immune system is what orchestrates your skin. So if you get the immune system strong with products that are helping the immune system, and Shilajit has been proven to be awesome for this, and it does make your skin glow. So what are you going to say about that? I mean, maybe you haven't taken it enough to see any skin effect on yourself, but like if it's taken regular, it really, I'll tell you my story. I'm not lying to you. I pray 5 times a day. I shower once, twice a day. Being born in Sunderland, I had good water there anyway. So after shower, my mom put Nivea every single time. I'm always used to putting cream on after having a shower. But since the last over a year since we got our own product, and I start testing our up and coming Shilajit cream, which we've registered, I can go 7, 8, 9, 10 days. I don't need no cream. Well,
I thought you were gonna say no shower.
Yeah, no cream. Yeah, exactly. I think I wouldn't need a shower either, but no, I like to have my shower. So I found that very interesting, because I found that a massive effect. That's why we decided to create this and launch this cream, and we're launching it very soon. It's well documented, good for the skin, and literally my skin feels hydrated all the time. It doesn't feel dry.
You remember what I said like a couple of minutes before? That Shilajit improves the absorption of the nutrients. That literally, that's it. You're having a nice meal, you're having Shilajit on top of it on a regular. That's gonna improve, you know, the absorbance of this nice nutrient that keeps your skin, you know, moisturized and clean and everything. So it's like nutrition is a subject as a whole. It doesn't tackle one thing. If something is good for you, like absorb them. You know, if you able to get all the nutrients, all the proteins, of the amino acids, all the vitamins, all the minerals, of course you will have positive effects on any aspect of your.
So should you be taking Shilajit after like dinner, or like what times would you suggest like people to take?
I think me personally, I didn't find any reliable sources that was stating, oh, it would be better to have an empty stomach in the morning. I would say anytime. The only thing that I
Like,
saw,
it makes sense after dinner, no?
in which way?
That you're gonna absorb all the nutrients from the.
Yeah, but like the way that it works, it doesn't. I mean, it's not that simple. You get my point. It's like the window that your body absorbs the nutrients is way larger than the digestion itself.
So if you take it in the morning, first thing, and then it would potentially be in your stomach throughout the day and help.
I would say
That's what I do usually. To be fair, I put it like before I go to work or university. I take my big bottle of tea. I like to put in black tea, and I put, because it's with a straw, I like to put some shilajit on where the straw is. It's like let it dissolve over time, and I drink it throughout the day. And to be fair, I feel like, because I do it on the long days when I leave home at like 8 a.m. and get back at 10. So, and I also like when I do that, I feel like, I know you're gonna roast me for that because you already told me you're gonna roast me, but I eat two times a day, and I think that helps me do that.
You do what?
I eat 2 times a day. I eat breakfast and
Oh
dinner.
yeah. I mean, I didn't roast you. I said
I'm gonna. He was
yeah.
he warned me.
because he wants to gain weight and then eats just twice a day. It's a bit.
Nah, but I eat like good, like a good dinner. I eat a lot, but again, I'm not sure if it's healthy again at the night.
As long as it works for you and you don't overdo it, it's about balance. I mean, that's also like the thing with the shilajit, like I don't think there's a time window that is better to consume it, but if it works, what I always say to people, as long as it works for you. So if you're seeing effects on yourself, just keep doing what you're doing.
So you trained and say, I'm not going to feeling that in your training that you're taught that everyone is a little bit different. So something that might help somebody might not help somebody else. That's why you're saying what you're saying. Whatever suits you or makes you feel good. So there's no. I mean, you can generalize on certain information, but ultimately, what you're saying is 2 or 3 people potentially, where the intake would potentially make them all feel differently. And
Absolutely. Also, with the shilajit, I'm sure people need to understand that when they buy in shilajit, they're buying a supplement, right? That helps you to improve. It's not a magic potion. You're not having shilajit, you're going to become Superman. You're having shilajit and you might eventually see some great effects, some decent effects. It also depends what you're doing outside of the shilajit. If you're training hard, sleeping 8 hours per night, having a proper nutrition, you're not stressed, you got good things going on, and you're taking shilajit, I'm sure you're going to see some results eventually.
When I first took, I thought I was Superman.
You did?
I did, yeah. I even put the towel on my head. I did when I was younger, I got my scar there. Okay. And then it took 40 years later. I thought, let me try it again. I was like, wow, like this one. Let me put my towel back on.
I'm gonna make an AI photo of you now. It's gonna be on the short video for sure. You as a Superman flying.
Yeah, with the shilajit, man. I mean, seriously, like I'm not just saying I'm being straight. Like when I first took it, because this is. Maybe I should give you a drink right now, like of a good gram. You want a good gram right now?
Can do.
Why not? Let's do that. Because when obviously, I think within time, anything that's taken in abundance, then that feeling and sensation starts to die down a little bit. So tolerance. Yeah. So I've found that my tolerance, it seems to like dip a little bit. Definitely, that's why I don't stop taking it, and you're supposed to take periods of not taking shilajit.
Okay.
But yeah, when I recently didn't take it for 2 weeks, I took it again. I put my cape back on. I was flying around East London, and
is it a plane? Is it a bird? Oh no, it's Abi.
It's shilajit, man.
It's Abi with shilajit.
Let me get you that good drink. You guys carry on.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can talk about. Actually, want to do that with Abi here. Weight management, Abi. Yeah, I could drink some as well. So, I wanted to ask you, man, like, because you took like for a brief period of time shilajit. I want to ask you, like, who could benefit from this product?
Who could benefit
from shilajit, like taking shilajit?
I mean, people who have just started the journey, like it could be both like a nutritional journey or like a training journey, because like I said, It has a great anti-inflammatory properties. So therefore, if you started training and you never trained before, you're very likely to get sore and inflamed, and that could help you big time. And also, if you just started to change your diet and you struggle to eat, for example, a lot of people struggle to eat vegetable and fruits, right? So if you're eating a very few amount,
Never have been me though.
are you guilty of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always my vegetables.
Okay. I mean, if you do eat just few, not enough, I think the fact that allows you to absorb the whole amount of vitamins that could help you. You get my point?
I get it.
Because you don't eat enough, but combined with the Shilajit, that might improve. It wouldn't solve the problem, but it will mitigate
I see.
the potential.
And that's a good target, like audience to target for us, for our brand as well, because now we just target older people that have arthritis.
Yeah.
It has helped Abi as well with, he had arthritis, I think.
Yeah.
He can talk to us when he comes back. And also with that, like a lot of athletes that want to see improvement within the diets and within like performance in the gym or training or whatever they do.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the fulvic acid has also like antioxidant properties, which they usually coincide with the creation of tumors and diseases. So I'm not saying it cures tumors and diseases, but it could be a compound effect. It could prevent you eventually, to develop these kind of diseases. And also, one thing that I found really interesting is that Shilajit is being studied as a potential. So it's like a very big a potential treatment for Alzheimer's. Yeah, because it can, due to its nutrients and its properties, it can tackle the production of tau protein, which is one of the causes of Alzheimer's. I didn't explain the best way possible.
No, but that's something new. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a cure don't get me wrong, but they studying because there might be a potential, because they cannot find an actual treatment. I mean, they've been studying for so long, but they can get to a cure.
So it could help Abi with his Alzheimer, bro. I always tell him to do stuff and he forgets about it. Then I come in 2 days after, he said, "Oh, I forgot you told me that." So, Abi, I think you should start drinking more Shilajit.
For my Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bro, you put so much in it, man. A G.
A G gram.
A G.
And to be honest with you, what I've done recently, because our
Cheers, bro.
Shilajit is raw, it's and this is the thing that an issue that. Sorry. So our Shilajit's raw as you can get. Now, if it's completely raw and 100%, it would be like actually a stone, and 99% is a little bit soft, and most you see on the market is about 95, 90, but maybe even less than 90. If it's the good stuff, it'll have moisture basically. The moisture helps it to maneuver. But what I'm doing that recently, I take the hard stuff, I put a few drops of warm water, leave it for 2-3 days, it becomes liquidy, and then when you drink it, I don't know, like if I find that one a lot more faster acting, but that's something else about how you're preparing, etc. But so yeah, the things that people need to watch out in Shilajit is to make sure they understand the difference between what is pure potent Shilajit and when it's mixed, different mountain altitudes and different purity methods. So one is heat purifying it, which takes because when it comes from the mountains with dirty rocks, etc., they have to separate the rock from the Shilajit.
Filter it with water a bunch of times, and they then put it within glass drawers and they leave it in the sun for a couple months.
6 months. And that way, so you have two methods. One is you heat it in one day and you're just using heat to purify it, but that kills the medicine. It still works.
It's faster.
It still has effect. Obviously 6 months difference. I mean, you can imagine like these guys are thinking 6 months waiting.
That's why you need to be aware of the fake ones, because
well, they're not fake. They're still pure. It's low potency. The potency is going down. It's not fake. The fake one is when they mix it with syrup or the subglucose or something, for example. So that's the fake or mixed version. Even the fake.
Do you have that sample that guy sent you?
Yeah.
Bro, I want Davide to smell it.
Okay. Should I get ready?
You should, because it's a couple times worse than Shilajit. expect something like a rotten fish or something.
Rotten fish. Okay. Nice.
But yeah, like, I tried it once and it was horrible, to be honest. And this guy wanted to do business with us, like, and he's probably doing business with other companies, and they don't know about that.
So this is. I'll actually mix it into. So this.
No,
is,
don't mix it. Are you
No,
gonna
I want
drink
to
it?
show the color. No, I just want to show
Okay.
the color on camera, because we're telling people it should be a muddy color like this. You know, I mean that's. But when I've liquefied, I don't know the actual amount of put giving you guys, but I believe it's around about 1 gram. Okay.
You need help? Strong
No.
man?
I am
Happened to
so
me as well.
strong. Right, here we go. Right. So let me smell that. It's
You can.
you can even see a shade in the color. You know. Now when you see the color of this, you'll see that it's a total now this is what's often in the market, okay? And what it does you see a lot on the internet does this, right, guys? So everybody watching this is what you guys are watching on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Shilajit should not do that. It should stretch, not pour. That's like pouring. You can see it. It's pouring. Okay. So anyway, just put a little bit.
It should be like honey, like a tar, like a resin. You know what I mean?
A thicker, yeah, and thicker, more thicker. Here is an example of a Shilajit, which is about 99% pure. Let me just make a big mess before before I do things. But here you can see the color now. Yeah, guys, you see the color?
Yeah, I can see that.
See the color? It's like a gold. It's almost like that Red Bull color. Look, you see? Now look at these three colors here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. Hopefully, but okay. So that's the Shilajit that's mixed. I won't expose the brand. That is the real Shilajit, the real deal. Okay, and we're often telling people you have to get this muddy color, which is a natural earthy color, and not this glowing color. That's a glowing color. You see the color? That's what you got to watch out for. You know.
But you can tell beforehand by the smell.
Yeah, the smell was quite strong.
Now, I
to say
would
the
not
least.
drink that. Like seriously, would not drink that. And what amazes me, like I don't know if it's placebo or what, but obviously, the amazing thing is if you're not taking anything before and you take this, you potentially might have some kind of energy or feeling, and and think that you're getting something good, because it would have some effect, but it's like driving a car for the first time, and even if the car's battered, broken, you feel good because you're driving a car. It's the first time driving a car. But then after you get used to a car and you understand what a quality car is, and you drive into a Ferrari or Lamborghini, that's the difference with our product and the. Anyone want to drink this?
No.
I'm good.
Sure. Come on.
Nice.
Let's try one
smells
time.
so bad.
You if you have a sip, I'll have a sip as well.
Yeah, see.
I'm not drinking that. So here,
I wonder if it smells that bad.
so here now you can see that's way harder. Okay, guys. So the raw Shilajit should be hard to pull out, and you see it's not dripping. You see it's I'm like a very strong.
You're gonna break the
I'm
spoon.
a very strong guy, and still I'm struggling. I might have to call in the. See, now that's someone said to me, if your Shilajit does that, it's hold with the spoon. That's how it should. Now that's not pouring. You see, you can even see it's like wiry.
Yeah.
Now that's pure Shilajit. That's how the Shilajit should be. Okay. Now this is, from my understanding, 99% pure. It's a little bit of moisture in there, otherwise it won't move. And then to get it any harder than this, it will actually become like a rock. I think I have one example here.
And they're like people like the ones that come from India as well, because I think they mix it with cow urine or something.
Yeah.
What are you
Because
saying?
for religious purposes, they believe cow urine is holy. And
Is it sold in the European Union as well? Is it sold here?
No, it has been caught. It has been
Oh, yeah.
known to be here, because they won't openly say it. But
Yeah, okay.
now here, guys, now there, now that's pure Shilajit. Now the unfortunate thing is, this is the problem now. Everyone's used to seeing this gloopy, syrupy, fake, mixed, call it what you want, Shilajit. So when we then launched this one, which has got a little bit moisture, people say it's a bit hard. Obviously, that, if it's left in certain conditions, will start to become this. You know, it seems like a rock. That's pure Shilajit, and we get complaints. You know, I don't get my gun out. I don't get my, Google Maps out. And Nick stops me, man. He pulls me back. I'm joking. That was a big joke. Customers,
I always
we
tell
don't.
them, Abi, they don't know, man. Forgive them. It's okay.
Yeah, we forgive you guys. But the honest, I did have like some like discussions with some people, and educating people is hard. So we're trying to do the right thing. And it's like, that is the purest product. Now, what I've done with Yoshi, I've used this product. I put a few drops of water, hot water, warm water, leave it for 24 to 48 hours, 72 hours. Then it goes kind of watery. And I'll just scoop it up and put it into the drink, and it boosts. I give a guy a drink the other day. He is, hijama, cupping.
Okay, yeah,
cupping,
cupping,
So
sorry.
before he'd even drank the drink, he was like, I'm feeling it. I'm like, I'll get him. I'm saying, get him down here. Yeah, I'll get him down here, hopefully, inshallah. His name is Imtiaz. Is it Imtiaz? I believe it's Imtiaz, yeah. Nice brother. And he said that literally before he'd even half the drink had been drunk, he was buzzing. I'm like, wow. But it was from taking the hard product, which I'd made with a few drops of water. I left it and then, give it to him. But, we pay double or triple, and I have to buy 100 kgs minimum when we sort of manufacture our processes, as opposed to this stuff I can buy locally at half the price at 1 kilo. So we go a whole massive way and routes, and now we're also manufacturing our own Shilajit.
I don't know if it's the Shilajit or if it's because it's hot. It just makes me like, it gives me like
A warm feeling. Yeah, it's supposed to. Yeah. But if you go outside in the heat though, oh, you're feeling it now. You mean okay? Yeah. So the Shilajit will warm you up, but if you go out, that will actually, in a hot day, it'll cool you down. Like hot tea in hot weather apparently cools you down. It does. So it has that's how I saw it anyway. So yeah, sorry, just a little bit of education on real Shilajit, and this is one of the things that we focus on in Shilajit Global, is to really try to penetrate to the world. Watch out for this rubbish. Watch out for products that are like low potency, but they can still be pure. Something that's low potency, something that's been taken from low mountain ranges, the altitude is lower, so the potency is lower, then they heat purify it. It's still pure, but the potency is low. Understand me? So low potency versus purity is two different things. So this one, the one we showed you here, has been mixed and is low potency, obviously, and it's just disgusting. Nick will try it later on, hopefully. Nick?
Yeah. I have a friend over there. His name is Drain.
you had a favorite.
No, the guy you with him every day, man. His name is what was it? Drain. He can try it.
Yeah, I'll
He
stuff
can
it
try
down.
it for me.
I'll stuff it
He'll
down the
tell me.
drain. Yeah, definitely. So guys, watch out for this guy, seriously. And so what's your view on, like the world of, fake, mixed, fraudulent claims, and
Like
obviously
yes, supplements like in general, including Shilajit. Like, what do you think of like people over going with it, and like maybe they start selling fake products or mixed products just to get more profit?
I think that right now there's so much information on the internet that you can easily be fooled by these people that they make huge claims that they sell these kind of products, like you said. But unfortunately, being honest and trying to sell the best quality doesn't guarantee you an outcome. Like if I was just a random customer, I didn't have the patience to do my research and think, and I just look it up on TikTok, on Instagram, like you said, you find that one has a creamy texture from the outside. If I don't smell it, it's more appealing than the hard one. So yeah, man, there's so many of these scammers out there trying to do this thing. Like, because Shilajit, I just found out about it like 2 weeks ago, thanks to Nick. So I don't know much. I know some because he told me. I did research before coming here, of course, but I could tell you about a million of them, like the pre-workouts that they sell, or even like I can make you an example about my field. There's so many people, just because they jacked, they give nutritional advices, or just because they lose weight, they go on Instagram, they make like 100 times more than I do make, and they never study a day, they're just making random claims that they might work for them. So yeah, unfortunately, like being open, honest, and thorough doesn't guarantee you success. So the only thing we could do is try to spread, like knowledge,
lies and misinformation and get
Yeah.
rich.
And I think the
We should
government,
try that, Nick. But that's what they're doing. Like, sorry to butt in, but that's what they're doing. Like, there was one guy, Sabri Subi from King Kong. He was exposing one of the Shilajit brands of Himalayan Shilajit. I'm not too sure which one it was, but he basically got a box and he was looking at their stats. In 90 days, they made nearly 9 million.
you see,
And then he took the product, and they're claiming, your pencil will become 3 inches bigger. This happens to you, that happens to you.
Crazy
All these crazy
video
claims, and obviously when you just listen to it, you just think what the guy was saying was they use emotional, like, misinformation. So it's emotional and misinformation. So it's getting to someone's emotion, weight loss, bad skin, sexual health.
It's like
etc.
warfare.
Yeah, it's like you're putting somebody down and say, if you don't buy this, you know what I mean,
You're
your
dying,
your problems ain't going to go any better. And then you got companies like us who, I mean, we made 1 or 2 cheeky videos. We looked at other people, sort of, we're not saying we're perfect, but we never go down. We didn't cross any barriers. I don't think Nick did. I mean, Nick was the one who tells on the videos, and he might have touched a few barriers. But if there was any barriers
he
being
might
touched,
have,
you got to
yeah.
contact Nick, please. But in general, I often mention that we like to work on integrity, transparency, and talk real, and really sort of. I mean, I had this conversation with Nick, and I said I'd rather make less money than be honest and face my Lord on the day of Qiyamah and say, Ya Allah, I made this, but I didn't cheat anybody. Then, make some, first of all, get rubbish, and then make false and, really bad
and get
information.
bad karma then.
Yeah, exactly.
But did he tell you the conversation that we had before I came here? Like, 'cause I told him, now I'm a professional. If you look me up on the government website on the AFN, you will find me. So I'm not gonna come here.
What is the AFN, sorry?
It's like an association for nutritionists. So I'm in there. So if I come here, I'm gonna be.
And how would people see you there?
You just go on the website and you look for registered nutritionist, you will find me.
Okay.
It's just
Or look at the description.
Yeah,
it just shows
That's what I'm
shows
saying.
that I've been trained. I got like proper university training and all of that. But what I told him was like, I'm gonna come here and gonna be honest. Like, and he told me, yeah, of course. And until we went through the door, he had no idea whether I was gonna
course.
speak highly of this, or if I was gonna be like, oh, it didn't work out. Because like you said, it's all about honesty. I mean, and at the end of the day, if it's rubbish, people are gonna find out eventually. So you might make like 1 million, like 9 million in a month, like you said, but you're gonna get caught if you're selling rubbish. You get my point. And I think it's so disgusting, like, because when someone look out for help, like if I'm looking for a supplement or for a diet or for a plan, it's because I'm in need. I'm reaching out for a help. And if you're taking advantage of this position by making crazy claims, like you said, it's gonna grow your stick bigger or whatever, it's just it should be punished big time. They should sanction them much more than they do, because there's so many of them in all the fields that are making these crazy.
And it's crazy because, like, in the last, I think it was around about 2 years now. Obviously nutrition supplements have been on the internet forever, but in the last 2 years, I think because of the way TikTok makes them videos and nutritional business is, I think, the fastest growing business on the internet. There's companies making so much, and they're using emotions. They're using people's ailments and sicknesses, negative life impacts that they may have on, and just selling people things left, right, and center. And not to say that a lot of it isn't good, because I'm sure a lot of it is fantastic, but it is definitely mixed in a world of fraud, misinformation, and just playing on people's emotions. So therefore that's a lot to do with psychology. And again, we often talk about Shilajit, this type of Shilajit being very good for mind health. But tell us a little bit about how you felt. Did you feel any positive, better in the mind health with Shilajit? Could you?
Like I told him, I'm not sure. It could have been easily placebo effect, but I don't mind if it's a placebo or not. But I felt like before training, I usually, like, my whole body, my brain is telling me, like, just don't go. Like, you don't have the energy today, you're feeling tired. But I didn't feel that. Like, I was feeling much more energized, much more prone, to get out, go, get on the train, get to training, and that usually doesn't happen to me. And again, obviously 2 weeks is not enough to make a huge claim as in, Shilajit just changes your brain chemistry, because I would be, a fraud myself if I said that. But definitely, yeah.
So live on camera, I want to live on camera. So I'll say it to you straight. Then, obviously, you know Nick well. Would you be happy to take, say, if we discuss between 1 to 3 months of supply to you, including our new product? Or we give it month by month and just see how it goes, and then maybe come back after, like, yeah, let's do for, like, if we agree a time, 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and then we do this again. But I would like to think in that time, inshallah, that you would also see that there's a massive potential. I don't want to use the word business, but help to improve your works. But you will only see that if it's good for your customers, because you need to use it more longer, and therefore, we could discuss. Yeah, exactly. So you have more time to utilize it, look at it, and at your level, you could certainly introduce this to a whole, you could wholesale this to a whole level of different individuals all the way to companies, and this could be, very, very, a good opportunity. So, would you like to take that up?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll discuss the terms, and then obviously you guys are seeing each other, fighting each other. Well, if you don't have a fight and then it goes a bit bad, then what?
You mean fight as in the two of us?
It's
Yeah.
okay, no emotion. No, he means sparring.
Sparring. Oh yeah, but it's fine.
I don't want you sparring to affect our little agreement.
No, I won't. It won't. It's okay.
We're
We
gonna spar. We're gonna see if he gonna get a bigger cut, or I'm gonna get a bigger cut.
Okay.
But I think it's not fair for me. He weighs more than me.
Yeah, I'm almost 80 kilos, I think, so it's
Okay.
not
I'm
fair.
65.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
fair, man.
Okay. Well, I think it's about speed, and I think speed is also.
But yeah, like, also to the next point, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We talked about being fair, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot of cons of Shilajit.
Yeah.
And for us being fair, I want you to talk if you find any cons of Shilajit.
Like on my own experience.
Yeah. Or the studies that you
I
did.
mean, on my own experience, like I said, 2 weeks, it was very hard for me to find huge improvement or like huge cons. I didn't find any. I found some pros that I mentioned before and no cons, other than the fact that, the flavor is quite strong. So you will need to drink it with some milk, with some tea, but that's not a problem for me. It was quite easy to consume. Actual cons that I found on scientific papers, there are some, of course, but they were more concerned about the fact that about like the purity of it. There's a lot of they were literally stating that there's a lot of like companies that are not selling actual Shilajit and whatnot, and also it has to be properly filtered. They were making a huge fuss over it because they said it could be highly toxic because it contains these harming metals and minerals that if it's not properly done and filtered, it can damages you big time.
From just on that point there, from my understanding, that's companies who make Shilajit capsules, and if the capsule is 100% Shilajit, or they claim it's 100% Shilajit, because we're creating capsules in the very near future, but we can't, from my understanding, and my guys abroad, they're saying we cannot take the pure bar and dry it out and make powder. It won't, it's too resiny, it just won't work. You have to mix it with something. So you have to mix the bar with ashwagandha or black seed or moringa, or and the last one we're looking at is turmeric. So you mix it with that, and then you sun dry it, and then it'll go to powder. And that's the only way, otherwise, the way they were doing it with the pure Shilajit into capsules, they were waiting around about 80%, I'm not too exact sure, but they were letting the sediments stay in the Shilajit, like the sand and the grit, and then that was letting them dry it out. Yeah. So with the sand and the grit inside, that's why the heavy metals remained. If that makes sense. Yeah. So if you definitely stay away from Shilajit capsules, because we can't make Shilajit capsules. We can make Shilajit mixed with something else. Because the capsule itself, to make Shilajit, it has to dry out. And you can't dry out pure Shilajit because it just won't dry out. Okay? That's why they wait for 30% before it's fully purified. And that 30% grit and rubbish and dirt will help it to dry out. Again, leaving toxic metals, etc., etc. Canada banned this. product, Shilajit capsules. So yeah, your research showed that. So yeah, so we are looking to do some capsules soon, and it'd be good to maybe try that as well.
What mixes?
We're looking at either turmeric, haldi.
We should do
black seed.
ashwagandha, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm taking ashwagandha as well.
I would look at ashwagandha, but when Umar went to the local markets in Pakistan, the ashwagandha price he got was pretty astronomical. But he was saying it's the best of the best. And when I waited for capsule, I was saying to my guy, like, it was something like 45, 50 pound a kilo, and I'm like, that's the kind of prices people are charging in capsules. So I'm like, well, if we get at that price, we have to charge an astronomical price to make some money on it. So we're still looking into it. But yeah, ashwagandha is the one.
What do you think about ashwagandha, by the way?
I'm gonna be honest. I heard of it, but I haven't done any research on it, so I don't feel comfortable making. Because I'm, like I told you, I'm very skeptical about herbs or like supplements. So you just open this door for me. It would be good.
I've been having experience with ashwagandha.
How do you feel?
I've been taking it for like around. It's been like a whole year, but it's not like consistent.
It's a root, right?
Yeah, but within capsules.
In capsules, yeah, of course. Yes.
And I think it helped me like in like relieve like stress, like public stress. Like when you outside and you feel stressed
Okay.
and anxious as well. Like, it helped me.
Yeah, it's
like,
very good for
relieve
that.
myself.
Yeah, it's maybe very good.
It sounded wrong when I said I relieve myself, but you guys know what I mean.
I should hope so. Yeah.
You went to the toilet, basically. Yeah, ashwagandha is very good for that. Shilajit also has a similar effect, but Shilajit is very power. Shilajit's almost like something on rocket fuel. That even if you want the calming effects, is very high in potassium and magnesium, and that itself gives a calming effect. It helped my mind health a lot, but potentially ashwagandha is something that would give that same potential help without that super boost behind you. Because ashwagandha will give you a more calming effect, I believe, and Shilajit can give a calming effect on one side, but on the other side is boosting you with the testosterone. So I think, and then different people would sort of probably reflect to it differently. But it's interesting. So, is there a nutritionist field of organic supplements? Is there like set studies on that, courses, etc. that you know of?
Courses, there are some, but as far as I know, they usually don't run these courses inside the uni because they're not traditional. University, they usually tend to give you like a foundation. And these kind of courses, they're more like private courses that you have to pay for. And what really I'm concerned about these courses is that you never know. There should be a body that is recognized by the government, that is protected by the law, that guarantees you that what they're telling you, that what the course they're selling you is legit. They don't have any like interest behind it. That's the only thing I'm always
Yeah, I agree with that, but I would also say on the other side, why isn't the universities looking at organic and naturopathics? My belief and answer to that is that most universities work with the pharmaceuticals, etc., and they don't want people to really push out certain products. So that's quite interesting to, that's obviously a deep conversation. But a lot of products coming out right now, like I tried lion's mane the other day, and I found that quite relaxing,
How did it go?
Yeah, I was definitely.
Why did you try it though?
Because I read the thing as lion's man, and I thought, okay, I'm a lion's man, so I tried it. Then afterwards, I realized it was an E. The packaging was hiding the E, and then I thought, shit, I've taken lion's mane. I thought I'm a lion's man. That's why I tried it because. And
chill out there, tiger.
But no, seriously, I found it quite good, quite relaxing. It's not a psychedelic mushroom, but did you know it's banned to actually grow or pick lion's mane in the UK?
Yeah,
It's
we talked
banned
about it. Yeah,
Yeah. Who did we talk that up to?
the first podcast with
Torre.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really strange. I mean, what you got to say about that? Why does the government not allow us to pick products like that?
Man.
I'm not supposed to answer. That's fair enough, but
Hasn't ever come.
but it's quite strange, isn't it?
There are some strange things going on. Like even for the university, I wouldn't say necessarily there are some interest behind it. It would be more like sometimes they just don't want to really spend any time onto that because it doesn't generate direct profit or it doesn't cause them any benefit. Therefore, they just. I'm not talking about the one you were talking about per se, just in general. if it's not convenient on the spot, let's just ban it. Let's just forget about the
I
conversation.
think a lot of the time, and it goes back to the conversation we just had, like why you have to go privately to learn about organic stuff, is because the universities are backed by their funders, etc., etc., and they obviously, they want to protect their interests, and they seem to teach those products or protocols or information or education based around the things that still help them, if that makes sense, because it does sound like to me that to like I think you're going to be one of the best nutritionists in the world, inshallah, because I think, well, hopefully, that you would be understand that your nutritional education or services, if you're showing the university technique versus the organic technique versus some other type of technique, you're bringing a few different fields in together, and you're giving the end customer much better options. Like if you visit a boxer or a fighter and you say, look, well, this is my regular nutritional education, it teaches me this, but you know what, if you want something that's going to boost your workout or your performance, then something like Shilajit is a perfect option. Alternatively, other things that they could take,
Based on experience.
Yeah,
Always.
based on it, always. Yeah, that's the point. But yeah, I think, like going back to the university, they said that maybe they're trying to protect their own interests by not conducting any research onto that. And also, I think universities is not necessarily that. I mean, you got a point for sure. Some of them they might do that, but also like there's not many funds. They don't get funded. Like the public health is overlooked big time, and there's so many issues that probably supplementation is not even in the conversation at the moment, even though like you just showed it can and it does change the game sometimes. But
so the university nutritional teaching or subjects or education, what's it based on briefly? Like, it's not obviously organic products or
no, it's like they give you like a foundation on how the human body works, or like anatomy, chemistry, biochemistry, and all these kind of things, and then you go deep in like public health, and they teach you about nutrition in practice, the psychology behind it. Is a holistic approach, so I wouldn't say, I would say it's quite thorough and quite good.
But when they tell you to take certain nutrition to get better or get well or feel better, what type of nutrition are they teaching?
They try to push the narrative that the nutrition should come from whole foods or just for food, which I do agree. The supplementation thing.
When we say whole foods, GM, non-GM, do they talk about that? Injected cows, injected chickens.
They do, but it's more like they touch on the topic, but they don't go deep. If you want to go deep, you have to do but they tell you like we cannot touch all because nutrition is so broad. Imagine, like you said,
It'll be like 6-8 years.
Yeah, man. I don't blame the university for doing that, because it would be like probably 10 years just for, and you know what? By the time you finish, the technology has completely changed, so you have to start again from the scratch. So there's no chance. It's up to you as a practitioner if you want to be a proper, and if you want to help your customers to keep up to date, to do courses, to study, to be open-minded, to try things, and give your own insights as well. That's how it works. I mean, in my opinion, that's what I'm doing. Like before, like for example, I did diets for fighters. Before doing weight cuts for them, I've done it on myself. I could have skipped that part, but I really wanted.
Nick's very healthy. He makes me feel guilty. He comes here every day to make me feel guilty.
As in,
I mean,
like,
I mean,
because
my
he doesn't eat
kebabs and I want some Nick now.
He wants
some
me to
chicken.
make.
Yeah, chicken. Like I said, like was like once, and like I think I've seen eat chicken twice.
Because I was tired that day. We weren't on exhibition. We were talking 6 hours straight. I was drained out. I needed to eat right then, right now. So I made an exception. I try not to eat outside because I believe in that. What you eat, like what you put inside, is what you eventually become. And basically, I try to eat healthy.
Yeah, that's good. But like, you never eat out, like not even like a sandwich or.
I eat out. Don't get me wrong, but I have some places that I trust. Like not trust, but I see the quality of food.
Yeah.
Because I don't like greasy food.
Yeah.
And most of the like chicken, like chips, like stuff like that, all greasy. like street food, like they're all greasy, and I like something.
But it's a psychology, isn't it? I mean, like most youngsters like that grease. They know their body can take it. When you get a bit older, you take it less. I mean, I still take the rubbish stuff. I should try not to. But Nick eats quite healthy. But a lot of the psychology, and most youngsters do eat rubbish and junk food, and it's like Nick's psychology is like,
Look,
well, he
I'll tell
doesn't
you.
like it.
I'll tell you one
He doesn't
thing.
feel good.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It all comes from self-discipline, and the first part of self-discipline is being aware what you put inside your body. So if you do that, then you start becoming disciplined. And I think I take myself as a disciplined guy, and I think it started from being aware what I eat.
Slightly different conversation, but on the same topic. Interesting one now. I'm trying to create a book called Sunni Health. Now, Sunni Health is based on the Islamic principle of Sunni Muslims as opposed to Shia. And
Sorry, before you continue, can I ask what's the difference? Because I never.
Shia, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to offend anybody, but they more or less say that God made a mistake, that Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, was meant to be the Prophet. Like God made a mistake. They respect Prophet Muhammad. They don't like the Prophet Muhammad's companions. But then there's many groups of Shia, so I don't think what I'm saying is across the board. But that's the main division, and so they take Ali. They're the ones who killed Ali, or some of the Shias, and that's why they cut their bodies and bang it every year.
So it's separated with history.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they try to kill. They killed Ali, and then afterwards they realized they killed a great man, and then when they accepted Islam, but then they started to follow him more and love him. Seemed to love him more than the Prophet Muhammad
Okay, I
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But that's the main division. I don't want to talk about too much.
Yeah.
Too much. But going back to the point now. I don't want to talk about too much, but you see, like I don't know if there was this thing I saw the other day. The woman come on my place, and it changes water. It changes the crystals of water. If you look under a microscope, you can see that how the shape of the crystals of tap water, and then she put this glass thing. I can't remember what it's called now, but it changed the crystals. It changed the formation of the crystals of the water. Now, I also read that when people say Bismillah, when we eat, we say Bismillah in the name of God. Or, like, there was one story, I can't remember, I think it was with the Zan, there's call to prayers, the Muslim call to prayers. It was played next to a glass of water. It self-changed the water, the crystals. So that's it's an interesting science that spirituality itself can optimize health. Because I'm going to write a book about, especially towards Muslims, don't say sugar makes you fat, for example, because it's on the will of God, it makes you fat. If we say, for example, Bismillah or something, we pray, so Allah, I'm going to eat this, let it optimize my health. I'm sure the nutritional world doesn't look into that spiritual element of that, but because it is interesting all the way from the atom being under a microscope, and you can see that it changes when certain things are being conducted towards it, whether it's a prayer or like the glass circle I mentioned to you. Sorry, I don't forget what it's called now. But it's a big company that make this glass. NASA use it or whatever. And have the certain chemicals, and when you put the water on top of it, it changes the crystal back into a better formation, meaning it's more healthier for you. Do you know much about that? And what's your comments on that?
My comments is, I think you have a point with that. As in, like the actual definition of health by science is not just your body, whether you got diseases or not, but it's also your mental state, your emotional state. That's part of health. That's considered health. So obviously the spirituality for someone who's religious, doesn't matter if it's Islam, Christianity, or whatever religion, is directly correlated with mental health. Because for maybe in your case, showing your respect to Allah, praying, it does have an impact on your emotional state, and that being connected to the health. Yeah, I think you got a point. It's a great point. I mean, obviously, you have to find your own, because obviously, if you're not Muslim, if you don't believe in it, you wouldn't see effect. But if you are, I think it would be a very good, guideline for people, that if you have a belief, in this case, is a religious belief, and you follow it, and you pair it with the nutrition, with the health, it does improve your life. I agree with you.
Because there was one family, I heard them somewhere, they were very healthy. It was a Muslim family, and someone asked them, how did you stay so healthy? And the woman man said, like every time something goes towards our lips, we just say Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. They constantly say it, a lot. A lot of Muslims, like myself, do forget to say at times, and that doesn't help the situation. What I'm saying is, like, saying in the name of God, itself to me has an impact, a positive impact on making that food less bad for you, more better for you, or you're just stipulating to God, I declare that this benefits comes from you, not me. That water doesn't quench your body; it's on the will of God it quenches your body. Like fire didn't burn Abraham while he was in there.
It's the positive thing that makes it better. Because there was like a video I've seen online. There was a lady that was doing an experiment to a plant. She basically planted two identical plants, and she played. No, she didn't play. Oh no, yeah, it was like recordings of her like saying good things, like positive things to one of it, and for the other, it was separated to another room. It was saying negative things, and you could see like the plant that was saying the good stuff, it like grew better, it produced better fruit, but the other was still in progress. It didn't even shoot up. So I think it comes from the positivity of words, and from in your case saying Bismillah in Islam is something positive, right? So it connects, it all connects together.
Positive mental attitude, etc. So so it's so psychology and nutrition. Talk about that, please.
In which sense do you
In sense of, like, Nick has a psychology, like he says, he doesn't like to eat because he doesn't like the feeling of it. But then his psychology changes.
You mean like mindset?
Yeah,
on
mindset.
nutrition?
Yeah, you could say
Like,
mindset.
What do you have to say about people that have hard time cutting weight or gaining weight? For my example, what's the mindset behind it?
Okay, so all it comes to patience, dedication, realistic expectation is a broad subject. But psychology and nutrition, they go together. It's the same thing. Unless you're genetically gifted, there's no way you can have a successful story if the psychologist aspect is not on point.
If it's too easy to do certain stuff.
It's not about being too easy. It's more like if you're trying to gain weight and you're having hard time, there will be a point where you will reach a plateau, or you'll be stuck and you'll have doubts. You will feel like, oh, you're not progressing fast enough. So that's when the psychology, plays a role into it. That's where Bismillah comes into play. Your prayer, for him it could be Bismillah, for me it could be something else. But if you don't get into a mindset that you need to sacrifice, you need to put actual effort, because that, like we say, you putting stuff into your body, that's the most important thing that you do. You said yourself, for you that's the main thing when it comes to self-discipline, right? What you eat, controlling what you eat is not easy. People need to understand also it's not easy, but it starts from there. Like, it's not disconnected from other parts of your life. If you're having a nice diet, it reflects on any aspect of your life. So yeah.
So spiritual, good positive food with good positive spirituality is probably the best mixture.
I would say so. I mean, whatever it works for you at the end of the day. Like I said, in your case is prayer. Nice. If my if my client was to tell me, do you think me saying Bismillah will help me eventually to like refrain myself to overeat, or the opposite, I would say, yeah, go ahead with it. Actually, please do it every time. Very important. Yeah. I think, we touched this before, but I can repeat myself, no problem. I told him, I think, of course, athletes will be interesting to try because there's no papers on that yet. So that would be just assumption from my point. But
maybe you can make the papers.
No, I'm not on that level. Yeah, I'm not a researcher yet. I can't do that, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely people who are getting into training, because like I told him, if you just started training, you will be more likely to be sore, inflame and everything. And because of these amazing anti-inflammatory properties, that would be a very good supplement to go with, because it will ease you into the training.
I spoke to like two boxers. One was like, okay, yeah, we'll try it. And the other boxer was like, they're worried to take it in case that it was banned. But then I said to him, from my understanding, you're allowed to take all organic products. A sportsman's allowed to take any organic product, from my understanding.
They are. You know what? I think the reason why it might have been concerned is because some companies they do mix it with, you know, like banned substances, but they don't they don't do any
Okay,
disclaimers. They
okay.
don't say. And there have been some athletes who have been either stopped or banned because of this. So maybe he wasn't.
They were supposedly taking some organic stuff, but it was potentially mixed with something else.
You get my point, yeah. It happened with the craziest stuff, like some things that you shouldn't have happened with. It did.
Yeah, I heard this. There was an MMA guy that was like eating beef, and they had injected the beef with testosterone,
Oh, really?
and he tested positive for testosterone.
Happens all the time. Not all the time, but very often that it should. Much more often.
So you can't take testosterone? So what if you took Shilajit?
No,
Even that was-
the
that
cow
was-
the cow was injected with testosterone to grow bigger
Yeah,
meat,
faster, yeah.
and he ate that steak, and it got transferred to him. Like he tested positive.
Hmm.
The final thoughts of taking Shilajit, and would you recommend it to people?
So what I would recommend people to do is, before buying Shilajit, I mean, we mentioned all the benefits that Shilajit has on your body. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, you know, improves potentially your mental health, your fatigue, you know, the mitochondrial production. There's so many, you know, aspects that it can improve. So read them through, come up with some expectation, because you have to see, you know, you have to be some benchmarks, right? And before buying that, do that, and then you buy the product, you try it out, you give it some time, so perhaps a month at least, I would say, and you do the right things. Because of course, if you having Shilajit but you're not sleeping well, you partying, you drinking, it's not going to work. But if you train, eat well, and sleep, and eat Shilajit, and you got this, you know, objective that you're trying to reach, that I think that would be a very good start. You know, my point. Like, if you have expectation, and you're gonna meet this expectation fact to Shilajit, that's the best way to find out whether it's working or not. Because if you I want to wrap this up. Just if you're buying some supplements but you don't know what you're looking for, there's a huge chance you're gonna be disappointed with it, because you don't know you're not gonna become. Like, you happen to become Superman, but there's an instance, right? But realistically speaking, you need to have some expectation. So I want to get less inflamed, I want to be more energized. Once you do have that clear in your mind, then go ahead and buy Shilajit and try, because that's fair for you and the people you buy from.
But just going on the drunk people, I actually believe that it's fantastic for, what do they call it, hangovers?
Hangovers, yeah. Oh my god.
And I did want to promote, I wanted to make a content for that, because obviously I don't drink to know, but from
Why do you point it at me, man? I don't drink either, man.
obviously the brain fog when they wake up, the sickness, I'm quite confident that if we try it on Nick, like, you know, actually I can't do that. Maybe we'll have to try on someone who does it. Yeah, so for somebody who, obviously we tell them to do it on their own accord, because we don't want to tell them to do that and then we get punished. But anyway, I do. But yeah, if they're willing to, you know, if they're going on party and they want to try it the next day, I believe it has amazing effects on a hangover. Yeah, I believe it would do. So because, you know, if you try Shilajit in the morning when your brain's foggy anyway, it opens up brain fog, and it kind of helps the stomach, because, you know, if the stomach's feeling bad from any alcohol, or, you know, it will also help that, and just literally the circulation. So that's another conversation. But so maybe we can do.
It would be fun to see, yeah, to watch. Honestly,
get Nick drunk and.
I'll probably get Juliana or something. All right. So, yeah, appreciate for coming, Davide.
so much. Thank you.
So yeah, guys, follow Davide. I'm gonna leave a couple links in the description of how you can contact him. Maybe he can give you some advice if you're trying to cut weight or gain weight. I might do that myself, actually, because I need to get to 70 kilos.
And hopefully we'll see you in a few months' time after we have a discussion after this meeting to discuss, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be more than happy to.
Fantastic, buddy.
Thank you.